Is it fun to hit people? I remember the day that coach confronted you. When another teacher asked what happened and who you was, the conversation turned to instincts. The first time I see athletes I'm training, I usually get a gut feeling about them, as if they're destined for greatness. I got that vibe from Ryu. But the guy we saw before? That feeling was new to me. What kind of feeling was it? It was terrifying. I couldn't breathe. It was pure, paralyzing fear. Yu then stood up. As a boy approached him, Yu recalled what his coach had taught him. Suddenly, he punched the boy with such force it seemed as powerful as a shotgun blast. The boy was knocked out instantly. Then, with another unseen punch that seemed to break the sound barrier, everyone watched in shock. Another kid, seeing his friend taken down so easily, charged at Yu. But he too was struck down by Yu's invisible punch. A third boy, witnessing all this, ran away, leaving Ryu behind. At gymnasium, Kei continued, "That's the kind of fear I felt." After seeing Yu's reaction, Kei added, "It looked like you were just waiting for the opportunity to show that power." Another coach nearby watched closely. How can someone be so unfazed by a punch? Kei wondered. It seems impossible, which is why I had to see it for myself. A punch that deadly should be hard to avoid, but Yu dodged it with ease. At that range, a regular person couldn't outpace a boxer's punch. Boxers typically predict their opponent's moves. But Yu? He just watched the punch and sidestepped it. It's like he had animal instincts guiding him. Ryu felt uneasy facing Yu. Yu's gaze challenged Ryu, as if daring him to make a move. Enraged, Ryu got into his fighting stance, preparing to attack. But before he could, something struck his eye, as if piercing his skin. This wasn't just fast reflexes, it was like Yu operated on a different level. Ryu fell to the ground in pain, but he remembered Yu was still behind him. He's not just a prodigy. He's a monster, Ryu thought. Ryu recalled his journey. His interest in fighting sparked from watching others. He always saw a better technique, a smarter move. It didn't take long for him to realize he was a natural. Winning fights felt good, especially the attention it brought. He became well-known, and challenges from others thrilled him. Defeating opponents brought him immense satisfaction. To him, he felt invincible, like a towering mountain. And the others were ants, but today was the day that mountain met something bigger. He stands in the presence of someone that is dangerous. Ryu wouldn't still accept reality. He gets up, making excuses. Angrily, he puts in 100% effort. Yu stands there, bored from waiting for a real challenge. Ryu is making after images. He is about to throw a jab, but withdraws as he sees Yu ducking. He finds an opening, he is about to hit. It's impossible to avoid it for normal people, that is. Ryu was shocked that he missed. He is in the worst possible situation. Yu takes a stance, he sees the light, he gets hit by a cannon. He is hardly breathing, but Yu isn't finished yet. He hits him again. That's when Ryu loses his consciousness. Yu doesn't care and still keeps going. His fist keeps disappearing into Ryu's face. This was the worst day in his life. The panicked Ryu wakes up screaming in a hospital bed. After he regained consciousness, he needed some time to understand what happened. The last thing he could remember was Yu looking at him with pity. Ryu Bekson, this was his first time experiencing the sense of loss, fear, guilt, and helplessness. This was his first ever defeat. At the age of 17, he started crying like a little kid. A few days later, back to Kei, he still hasn't left. Two guys ask if he could teach them, but he isn't interested in them and turns them down quickly. Kei is extremely impatient for Yu. I want him. It's the first time I've ever wanted something so badly. If he doesn't show up within the time limit, I am just going to kidnap him. People started noticing that Ryu still hasn't come to train. The door gets opened. Everyone was expecting Ryu, but it was actually Yu. The people are shocked a bit. Kei is happy. So, have you thought about learning how to box? I mean, becoming a professional? Do you understand? Yu answers, yes, but only on one condition. If you could give me money to pay some hospital bills, then I am willing to try. Kei immediately understands what happened and asks, "You thought Ryu was strong?" "No, not really," Yu responds. Kei laughs. "Alright, so hospital bills? Screw them. I can even buy you a whole hospital. Take me to the hospital," he tells the other coach. He owes him and leaves with Yu to the hospital. Kei goes to the hospital and sees Ryu on the hospital bed. I was right about him. Yu is watching in J and recalling what happened. He then leaves with Kei. He takes Kei to his house. There is nothing here, he observes. He asks if his parents are here, and Yu answers with a no. Kei says he will come back next week but forgets to ask Yu for his name. Yu recalls some really horrible memories of his past. He remembers someone saying that his family name started with Yu. Yu says, "It's just Yu." "Alright, Yu. You're going to have a new life from now on. I'll show you a whole new world." This was the moment the history of boxing started to change with the arrival of Yu. After the care is done with the documents, he goes to Yu's house to pick him up. He then gives Yu a new hairstyle. After that, they both go to the airport and leave. After they arrive at their destination, they are greeted by the gym manager and her assistant. They take Yu to his new house, and then they head straight to the gym. The gym is called the Lion's Gym. After they enter, the gym manager gives Yu a tour around the gym. The other boxers stop what they are doing and look at Kei. Carmen tells him to take pride in himself because he was chosen by Kei. Yu answers with a simple yes, and she gets mad at him. Kei introduces Yu to some other people. As Yu stares at previous world champions, Kei tells him that they were all raised by him and they were fun to train. The current weight champion is called Aaron Tide. He then asks Carmen to reserve 2 seats for the heavyweight title match. Look carefully and realize that there is one more monster in this world other than Yu. Yu and Kei then head to the match to watch Aaron's match. Aaron is facing off against another fighter. The other fighter is barely even able to guard himself against Aaron, and Aaron continues attacking him until he gets a clean hit. The match is over, and the champion has succeeded in protecting his title easily. Kei is proud. Even though Aaron changed to another gym, Kei predicts that in the near future this crowd will be cheering for Yu. That wealth and honor that an ordinary person can't have will be entirely going to you. I will make you the king of this world. Finally, the moment that Kei was looking for his entire life with Yu, his dream will become true. After that, the day is over. Yu wakes up in the middle of the night, remembering the only good memory he had, then he goes back to sleep. The next day, a kid called Josh comes to Kei's office. He tells Kei that he wants to spar with Yu, and if he wins, he wants him to make him his apprentice. Kei laughs and tells him, just once. If he hits once, I will make him a world champion. After a while, the news spreads that Josh will be going against Yu, and everyone is talking about it. Josh is unsurprisingly angry because he won the recent youth competition, and now most of the professionals don't stand a chance against him. But Kei still doesn't acknowledge him. Kei says that he isn't anything special and what fun is there to train a guy whose limits are obvious. Josh gets mad and promises to destroy Yu and prove him wrong. As Josh is in the ring, he notices Kei teaching Yu how to wrap his hands. Everyone has gathered to see the new boxer's abilities. Kei asks if he was nervous, and Yu says he isn't but wonders why everyone is gathered to watch him. Kei then teaches Yu his first ever lesson: from now on, until you quit boxing, do not get hit even once. Then the match is about to start. Kei can't wait for the excitement he is going to get. It makes him want to release this beast into the wild already. The fight starts, and Josh starts advancing. Yu watches Josh's fist as he helplessly tries to strike down Yu. Josh starts huffing and puffing, but nothing works. He can't even scratch him. He realizes that what Kei was saying wasn't to provoke him, he was completely serious. Josh felt like he was against a wall that he can never climb. Josh starts using everything he learned until now. Josh has always taken pride in how he was trying harder than anyone, but what was it all for if it isn't going to work on him? The first round is over. Kay decided that it is time to wrap it all up and tells Yu his second lesson: if someone gets hit in the jaw, they faint. In other words, boxing is about dodging well and hitting well. Kay gives Yu a simple goal: with his talent as that of a monster, his sheer existence is the pinnacle of boxing. Josh feels jealousy that Kay is teaching Yu. Round 2 is about to begin, and Josh tells himself that he will focus on his defense. There is one thing you can't obtain with talent alone: stamina. It can only be obtained with hard work. Yu actually got tired as he faced off against Josh. He plans to attack Yu when he gets tired. The moment the referee tells them to box, Yu uses the invisible fist and finishes the spar in a second. Josh faints. He gets up shortly after. Josh feels sadness and tells himself that it wasn't a dream he could have achieved in the first place. Yu then approaches him, asking for a rematch. Josh tells him that he doesn't want to because he will face more humility and that he understands he is strong. He recalls the look in the eyes of NJ as he was fighting. Then he is about to leave when Josh stops him. He says that the coach told him there was a guy, besides Yu, that is stronger than him and asks if he knows him. Yu says he does. Josh asks if he was really stronger than him. Yu looks at him and sees NJ, probably. Josh is disappointed and answers with a simple, okay. Josh quits boxing after going against Yu. This was his last match. After that, Yu spent 2 years training. He spent most of his time watching boxing matches and training. He still lives in the house he was given by Kay with his cat. At the Lions gym, Carmen is giving a presentation on John Taker. He will be Yu's debut match. He uses foul play in an infighting situation. Carmen tells Kay that she trusts Kay's vision and guidance, but all he did was building his body and watching boxing matches. Will that be enough? Kay says that's a worry. Taker has been training his special move, a headlock shaft, a foul attack. Between fast and rough axis hits as if it were by mistake by grabbing the back of the opponent's head. His trainer tells him that the newspaper company has arrived and to go do an interview. He is amazed that even the newspaper company came to him. The last player raised by Kay must be a big shot. He must be a monster. He says that he doesn't like people with talent and that by doing foul play, he is teaching them a lesson. If you cheat, you only lose 1 point. Only fools stick to rules. He says that everyone who plays like that is weak. The only rule is to kill or die. The reporter mentioned that he reminded him of someone else who was known to fight dirty. Are you a fan of the middleweight world champion, Santorino Fabrizio? The reporter asks. He responded, those Fabrizio brothers are real fighters. They're the real deal. As for Yu and Kay, I'll take them down in this match. After the interview, he consulted his coach, seeking reassurance. Do you think I can beat Yu? He asks. His coach replied confidently, believe in yourself. You got this. On the day of the match, reporters were everywhere. Ignoring them, he headed to the waiting room, hearing the noise from John Taker's adjacent room. As his turn approached, he prepped himself and walked towards the ring to a chorus of cheers. Bob Norris, the former middleweight champion, was set to commentate. He noted the unusual interest in this lightweight match, speculating it was due to Kay's previous successful fighter. John felt the crowd's excitement, knowing many were there because of Yu, and he was itching to take him down. Yu, accompanied by Kay and their team, entered the arena. Kay, visibly excited, gestured for Yu to join him in the ring. As Yu stepped up, he looked at the eager crowd, all waiting to see what Yu is capable of. Curious about what comes next? Click on this video to continue. And don't forget to like and subscribe.